Hello and welcome to a long overdue video. Today I'm going to be playing some Planet Coaster, and I'm starting a bit of a project with this game, as you'll see when I've stopped messing about with these blueprints. Basically I'm going to be building what I'm going to call a Legends of Nintendo themed theme park. A bit of a mouthful. Basically it's going to consist of 4 main areas, and I might do a 5th full of honourable mentions, if you will. But as you can see, we're starting off with Zelda, as I've just popped up Hyrule Castle out of thin air. A little bit more on that because I kind of cheated with that rather than building it myself from scratch. Donkey Kong, a Pokemon area, which will be quite interesting. I'm sure plenty of people will be happy about that. And of course a Mario themed area. So as you can see, I've just popped up a castle which is the actual Twilight Princess castle. Well, basically what happens is in Planet Coaster is you can build everything from scratch. You can go into some serious detail, as you can tell from this castle that's been brought up. But what people tend to do is they have a Steam workshop, so you can create a building and then you can save it and upload it for anybody else to use. So that's basically what I've done here. I've just done this just basically so it's a bit quicker, so we can get going with the video, because I mean building the castle would take probably days, to be honest. Someone's obviously put a lot of work into it, and I'll give them a mention in the comments. Do I subscribe to actually get to the castle? And we're going to start off by building a roller coaster. Now again, even building the roller coasters can be quite challenging, especially considering I haven't had a lot of play time in this. Don't worry about it clipping through the ground. I was trying to sort the settings out so that it actually automatically tunnel, which for some reason it didn't, but at least now I can sort of clip it and then we do some terraforming afterwards, so it's not the end of the world. So in this particular roller coaster, I'm going to be going down into the Sage's Chamber, or at least that was the plan anyway. As you'll see, there's actually a bit of problems that go on, because when you're building the roller coaster, you can't just build any willy-nilly sort of loops and sharp drops, as the G-force, as you'll see later on, can cause the roller coaster to not be very exciting for people to ride. So there's a lot of sorting out, but there is a smooth button, but still when you try and go a bit crazy, it doesn't like it. So I've actually sped the footage up here, as you can probably tell, 8 times. So if you want to do the maths on that, feel free. But you can imagine this is about 18-minute video, 18-20 minutes. So you can imagine how long it actually took just to do. And this is just building the roller coaster. And after this, there will be Hyrule, the market town, and then I've sort of been looking at the map of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time to sort of get an idea of where the placement goes, because I don't want to make it too big and basically spread out all the whole park. I mean, people have done that. They've made a full Zelda themed Hyrule park, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. But because I've got so many different areas that are going to be going on, we're just going to keep everything quite compact, as to not waste too much space. And again, this is the only problem, is trying to get the things to link up sometimes, because I sort of struggled a bit of a nightmare, but perseverance and all that. Funny, when I was thinking about the recording, what I'm going to say to this video, I had loads of ideas what to say, just talking a load of rubbish, but now that it's actually come to doing the recording, my mind draws a bit of a blank. I mean, I know it's so hard work thinking about what you're actually supposed to say without sounding like a bit of a tool. I'm hoping as I get more practice at it, it does get hopefully a lot easier, just like this game will when I can't even get it to auto connect here. to start on tunnelling out so that it doesn't clip through the ground. And just turn the light on, which I had to go and have a quick Google on how to do, because like I say, I haven't played this game all that much, so taking on quite a big project is going to take a lot of practice. So after I've done this roller coaster, which takes a while, I think I get it nearly completed by the end of the episode to some extent. It might not be the best, and I'll probably go back when I've had a bit more practice and maybe make it a bit more exciting, because I end up having to change all the loops at the beginning because I think the speed of the drop causes too much G-force as you come back out. So again, you'll probably see when I start doing the testing that it doesn't like it. So doing a quick test ride here, just so I can see which bits need sorting out. As you can see, I clipped through a bloody bollard there, so obviously that needs sorting out. To do that, I'm just going to pull some of the terrain out, as you see now, and then it should just stop that bollard from going through the middle of the track. And what I plan on doing with the actual rest of the Hyrule Castle is having a bit of a food court, because I think it's 3 levels. Well, it's not actually 3 levels, but I turn it into 3 levels. So basically we'll have the top level is where the roller coaster is, and I have the queue lines coming out the back, which I think I'm going to then build the castle surrounding it. I just sort of left it as broken pieces because you can have it as though the wall was smashed, but I think I'm going to change that so it looks like a full castle and not ruins. And then the level below is going to have like food court area, so you get some obviously food, drinks, with some tables and that to sit down. And then the base floor I actually made a bit of a cock and balls with, because I initially set up to do a monorail so that would come in and then go underneath, but as you'll see in probably the next video, I ended up having to delete bits of the castle and it looks a proper mess. So I'm going to be changing that at some point, and it's going to be a ferry boat ride, so that'll actually come around when I put the castle moat in, and then you'll sort of disembark in front of the Hyrule Market Town, which again I've used a blueprint for. I know it's cheating a little bit, but I think the amount of episodes and time when I don't get that much time to actually play on games anymore, being too busy being an adult, would probably never get finished the park, and I would really like to finish it. I mean, this game, I think it was 2015 it was released, and I remember seeing it, and at the point I didn't have a PC, and I was just like, as much as I love the Roller Coaster Tycoon series, I mean they were incredible, especially the third one where you had the actual water park expansion. It just added a whole new level. But with this, well, this game in particular, Planet Coaster, they tend to give you a bit more freedom. So when you later on, when I start building some of the, as I will do my own build, I'm not going to just cheat and use blueprints for everything then just get other people's work. What you'll get is you'll just get like a blank service counter, and then there's all, if you look at the bottom you can see the scenery in the building, and you can literally just build your own buildings obviously, and it just gives you that much more freedom to do what you want. I mean, you can go on YouTube and check out other people who've been playing this for years, and they do some extremely detailed and incredible things. So I've actually been doing a bit of research and watching those guys how they do stuff. So I would definitely recommend checking those out if you're interested. If not, you can just watch me fumble along and struggle like an absolute idiot. And so you can see here now the dark purple is where the G's get too much. So as it's just popped up, your ride exceeds the G-force limits, and that affects the fear and excitement. So you can imagine if your face is being ripped off, it's going to be pretty scary, and it won't be very exciting. So it's quite realistic. It's a lot more of a simulator than Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, where they're not really that bothered if you have a crazy fast roller coaster. People will still ride it. I imagine on this, people just won't be bothered to ride something so stupid. So I'm trying to fix it here, and I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but in my head I was trying to do a bit of a longer corkscrew, but I'm guessing my brain wasn't working after work, because I kept twisting, basically just coming on a bank and then pulling it back out rather than doing a full corkscrew, and for some reason I just couldn't get my head around what I was doing. So I pretty much end up deleting this whole section and just using like one of the big rolls, which I'm not 100% certain what it's called, but you'll see it when I actually get to that point in the video. So I'm really making an absolute mess of this. So I'm just going to take this time just to, while you're watching me fumble through, just to sort of talk around what the plans are for the rest of the park. So obviously I'm going to be building the Hyrule Market Town, which just sits just in front of the castle. In there are 2 rides, I believe, when I looked at the blueprint, because I've actually recorded the footage in advance and just doing the voiceover as and when I'm getting ready to upload the videos. So I know there's actually 2 rides in the Hyrule Market Town. One is a bumper car ride, which is quite cool because the cars actually look like the bomb chews from Ocarina of Time, and if you've played it, you'll know what the bomb chews look like, and you'll just see the person who's actually done the market town done a really good job. And then behind it is also the Temple of Time, which again someone has done an amazing job of it, and you'll see that later on in the videos. But they've done sort of like animatronics to imitate Link pulling the Master Sword from the Pedestal of Time. Which I'm going to make sort of like as a bit of a walkthrough area for people, if I'm actually talking as though if the real people, for the computer simulated people, if they want to actually go and view that going on. I know I would if it was in a real theme park. And then obviously we're going to do Death Mountain, which I think I'm going to have a launch coaster go through the middle of the volcano, followed by a mine coaster style wooden ride. Which will sort of go around the outside of Death Mountain and maybe interact with the launch coaster in some way. I think that could be quite interesting. Then we're going to have Zora's Domain, which is going to be predominantly water-based rides, because obviously the Zoras live with a lot of water, so it makes sense. So there'll be a river rapids definitely, and a log flume. I'm not sure what there are any other water rides, to be honest. I might just put a little water transport ride for scenery, and maybe just continue the water transport ride that I am going to be putting on out in front of the castle moat instead of the monorail. That makes an absolute mess. I think I will just extend that to stop off outside Zora's Domain and then loop it back round to the entrance of the park. And then we're going to have a Lost Woods section, which I'm not 100% sure what rides are going to be in there, but I think I'm going to make that more of sort of like a kiddie area, because let's face it, the kids have to have some area to have a bit of fun. It can't all be for the adults. And it does kind of make a bit of sense, seeing as that is where Link started off as a child when he thought he was a little wood elf or whatever they're called. And I'm going to really have the little village. He's obviously going to have a few shops in, but then I'm going to try and recreate the best I can the part where out of Ocarina of Time where you're trying to get to the Forest Temple. Not the Forest Temple, sorry. Where you're trying to get to the Great Deku Tree, and then I think I'm going to have another wooden style roller coaster going around the Great Deku Tree. I think that could look quite good. I think someone has also done a blueprint of the Great Deku Tree, which you'll have seen for a brief second at the very beginning of the roller coaster. Not the coaster, the video. But it doesn't really look amazing, so I'm going to see what else I can find or even attempt to build it myself. I'll also talk about some of the other areas in the park. So obviously we're going to have the Donkey Kong area, which is probably going to be one of the smaller areas. So it's just basically going to be, well, in my head, it's basically just going to be like the Donkey Kong Island, and just probably have again just a few sort of wooden themed ride. I think that'd have a good River Rapids ride as well, because it being jungle themed. Maybe I know there are quite a few of the adventure style scenery and rides, so maybe when I come to it I'll be able to have a proper look and figure out exactly what we're going in that area. In the Mario area, I've got a few ideas for that. Obviously a Mario Kart going through the Rainbow Road and various other tracks on Mario Kart. I think that's pretty much a must. I think it'd be silly not to include a Mario Kart ride, which obviously are just the go-karts, but it's the scenery around it that will make it quite spectacular, or in my case an absolute disaster, because I have all these ideas in my head and they never actually come down to paper, because I tend to sit down when I go to play this game and I will literally stare blankly at the screen for about half an hour just trying to figure out, oh, I've got all these ideas, but I have no idea to put them down into the game. So that'd be quite interesting. I'm hoping by that point I'll have learned a bit more about the game and I won't struggle half as much as what I am doing on this first coaster and castle building. Not 100% sure on what else. Maybe a Luigi's Mansion ride would be quite, obviously like a ghost train, that'd be quite good. Sort of fits the whole Mario theme. I haven't really thought about it all too much. I know I am going to have another castle in there which is going to be based on the Mario 64 castle. You'll have to forgive me, I don't actually know is it Mushroom Castle? I'm not 100% sure. You'll have to tell me off for that in the comment section, as I really should know, seeing as I'm doing a Nintendo based theme park. If you've got any ideas for rides that can sort of like fit any of the themes, again, just feel free to leave them in the comment section. The Pokemon section, one of the rides I've actually seen another YouTuber do. I don't particularly want to copy it, but it is a very good idea. The YouTuber is called Attacking Toucans. He does the ultimate theme park build, he is an extremely good builder, and I've been watching a lot of his videos for the sort of inspiration and tips, because he's a lot better than I am. But he does a Pokemon Snap ride, because in Planet Coaster you can actually have a bit like Men in Black in Orlando, if you've ever been in it, or if you're from England, where if you've been on Jewel at Alton Towers, where it's basically a target practice ride. So he's done that, but used it as though Pokemon Snap, as though you're throwing Pokeballs and catching the Pokemon or taking pictures. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, that's how he incorporates that into the ride. And other, maybe like a Rapidash style roller coaster, like one of the launch coasters, maybe a bit more to it than the one that'll be in Death Mountain, because the one in Death Mountain will be pretty much a launch straight up into a vertical, maybe with a bit of a twist, and then back down to the station. Whereas maybe I could do a bit more with the Rapidash Dash, if you will. I think that'd be quite a good name for that roller coaster, the Rapidash Dash. Anyway, looks like we're coming just to the end of the video now. So again, I'd like anyone, if they've got any ideas, if you'd like to leave me a bit of feedback on the commentary, if there's anything you like, didn't like, maybe the gaps where I didn't know what to say, do you want those filling in, or do you prefer it when I talk less or talk more about what I'm actually doing in the video? Do you want me to talk about my boring life, what I'm doing with myself? I have no idea. So I know there's not going to be a lot of people watching this anyway, so it probably doesn't actually matter. But anybody watching it, I would love a bit of feedback. And again, also, if you have any more ideas of maybe another theme section you'd like to see, or if you've got any ideas for any sort of rides, obviously being limited to what I can do, but any little helps and it would be much appreciated. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.